What a great kick.
Melbourne, Chad Townsend plays on. Plays to the whistle. Kicks away for Valentine Holmes. Penalty again. Wow. Chad Townsend, brilliant.
Yes, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of the Town podcast. And today, lucky enough to have two of the boys from the engine room, the big boys, on the podcast. Please make welcome Jack Williams, mate. Welcome for coming back on, second time on the show.
Thank you, Chatty.
And big boy Braden Uele making his debut on the podcast, brothers. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Chatty. Well, that was a sick intro, bro.
Yeah, you like it or
That's
what?
hectic.
Yeah.
I rate that a lot.
Yeah, I actually get a few comments actually saying people actually like it. Rab's voice, the voice of rugby league, is probably the biggest reason I like it. Boys, our first W on the weekend. Jack, I'll start with you. Mate, give me your thoughts on the game. Good to get the win.
Oh yeah, it was unreal, especially going up and back in the one day. But yeah, I mean, we're coming off 3 losses and some average performances. So to get one is unreal, especially on the away trip. Made the away trip back home so much better. So much better.
And how about you, Brades, coming off the bench? How's the knee feeling, and what'd you make of the game?
No, knee's all good. Grade 3 carry on, mostly, I reckon. Yeah, the game, it was one of those games where we just needed to strip everything right back, I think, and just go back to what, the most simple type of footy that we can play. And yeah, it worked. So the monkey's off the back, and it's all about backing it up now.
And Jack mentioned, I wasn't playing. I'd still say but we travelled up the day of the game, so chartered flights. So for people that might not know, we usually, for example, if we travel to Townsville, we'll travel the day before, stay in a hotel overnight. But in the new environment that we're playing in, we actually chartered a flight. So Brades, tell me a bit about how that went down.
Well, it was low-key like an NBA type feel about it, like, the private jet. Yeah, all the boys sort of seemed relaxed, and it was, everyone was moving about and interacting. So, yeah, I didn't mind it. Came back a bit late, but it was still, I'm in my own bed, waking up on the next morning in my own bed. So, yeah, I've got no complaints.
And what about you, Jackie? What do you think of it?
I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. We got held up for 2 hours, I think, in the bar of the new stadium, which is pretty good. We just watched some footy, kick back, had a stretch and a roll and everything, and yeah, I actually didn't mind it. But getting the win and coming back on the plane on the same day makes it so much easier.
They chucked those heaters on though, for sure.
Yeah.
Bit of a stitch.
That was probably going into my next question about the temperature thing, because obviously I was at home watching the broadcast, and might have been the end of the game before. It said 6 Sharks players have failed their initial temperature testing, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on here?
We were all lined up outside the clean zone, and I was like near the last one to go in, and I just see Moise come out, Woodsy come out, SJ, and we're like, what the hell? What's happening? Like, are we sweet? And then, so we were all asking questions like, what happens now? Where do they go? And apparently they'll just sit up in the freezer, chilling out in the freezer. Yeah.
Moise said he pulled everything out of the fridge and just put his head in there.
Yeah.
And did you pass your first test?
Oh, so the pass mark was 37.2, and that's what I was.
Yeah, right.
He just went over to the lady and said, "Oh, Jack Williams is this," and she just goes, "Yeah, that's the pass. Let him go." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So do you reckon it was like the heater on, or was it because in North Queensland like it's hotter up there, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. Few conspiracy theories going about that, but yeah, it wasn't too warm up there though. Like we got off the bus, but I think it was just different climate.
Like we was wearing jumpers throughout the day?
Nah.
Some were, some weren't. But,
It was warm. It wasn't that warm. It was about,
it was warmer than
22
here.
or something.
It was warmer than here.
Yeah, I think the main thing is we got the W. Boys,
100.
Like you said, Jackie, we got the monkey off the back. We are moving forward now. But I guess the next thing I wanted to touch on was the environment that we're currently in at the moment, like the COVID. It's pretty different to what we normally used to. But how have you found, I guess, some of the protocols we have to do, Jackie?
I mean, I don't mind them. I see why they're in.
Yeah.
Whatever we can do to get the game going is, it's what we need to do. So I think if we can put those sort of restrictions, not away, but minimise them enough to get fans back, then I think the game's looking in a pretty good place.
And Brades, do you want to tell us some of the protocols we have to do? Like, what are we required to do?
Yeah,
Pretty much on a daily basis, isn't it?
100%. You know, so every morning we got to wake up and have fill out both these apps that we get, one for the NRL and one for the club, and they got to be done by like 9 or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah.
So even
some of the boys on their day off,
even on days
sleeping
off,
until
man.
11 o'clock. Some of the younger boys, and I'm guilty of this too. When I was younger, when I was like 21, man, on the days off, like you have nothing. Like you just, a lot of them either live by themselves, live with one of the boys, or live at home, and they're sleeping into like 11 o'clock.
Well, honestly, on days off, that's all I want to do. My alarm's nowhere near me. I'm just turning it off, and I just want to sleep as long as I can. But with these bloody apps, I've got to be up still, and I'm just like, whatever. But the apps got to be done. Coming to training, got to have a temperature checked every morning.
Yep.
Sanitize, change shoes. The shoes is getting.
Yeah.
I'm off the shoes. I'm off the shoes.
I don't reckon I've had my temperature taken this much ever in my whole entire life.
No way.
Every single day. And like you said, it's worth it if we're back playing.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? But all right, let's move on to, I guess, our first topic of today. And that's probably around The Last Dance. Probably chuck it up there with one of my most favourite docos of all time. But I'll start by one of the things I probably learnt from The Last Dance. And it's just that MJ was he had that killer instinct. And I don't think there's ever been anyone in the sporting world in history that's got the similar instinct. I think MJ just solely has that. What do you reckon?
He's a savage.
He's a savage.
24/7 to his own players.
And that's probably why he wasn't liked by many of his teammates.
But I think, people might see it as being a douche.
Yeah.
But the man's
Speaks for himself.
He's won 6 rings.
Yeah.
Like his attitude would be contagious because
Yeah.
He wants the best for himself and he wants the best for the team. So
Yeah.
pushing guys to raise that bar.
Yep. The thing that I really liked, and it was a quote from NJ, and it was he'd never ask his teammates to do anything he wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And that really resonated with me. I was like, man, he was absolute beast. He had that mindset. Hey? And I guess Kobe probably had a similar mindset.
Yeah.
Where someone like LeBron, his mindset maybe a little bit different. And it's probably the mock on LeBron because he's not like that. But he's his own personal.
Yeah. I think it's the comparisons that you have are just totally different, different eras of ball.
Yeah.
Two totally different players,
What do you think of? They always compare, don't they?
Yeah, everyone.
It sucks, I reckon. Like they always, who's better, LeBron, MJ, Kobe?
Good.
Like why are they always American sport? Which their I guess environment compared to our environment is a lot different. And I've spoken about this on the podcast before in terms of if Braids, for example, this weekend you were to go out and call out one of the Dragons front rowers and say, "I'm going to take your head off this weekend." You're considered arrogant, or you're not a good bloke, or something like that. But in America, if they do it, it's like that's normal.
It builds the game.
Would you build a game? Would you like to see more of that?
Oh, I wouldn't mind it, man. If someone called me out, I'd take it on.
If an opposition front rower called you out, you'd be happy to take on the challenge, and you take it, I guess, a little bit personal for the weekend that it's a challenge, but that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And then.
Yeah. You got to thrive off it.
You got to thrive off it, yeah. But and I don't know if it's going to change because Aussies we are the humble kind, and you got to be a good bloke the whole time, which is fine. And our culture is definitely different.
It's weird, but because when you watch American sport, you watch it because you love seeing that stuff.
Yeah.
Too. But you just don't know how the Australian audience is going to react.
How they're going to react? Yeah. I'd be interested to see to people who are listening out there, even try celebrations. You know what I mean? And this is something I wanted to, because when I had the idea of getting some of my teammates on, and I've spoken to a lot of the boys one-on-one, I've spoken to Jack one-on-one, but 2 of the boys, I wanted these 2 together because, we built up a bit of a combination together last year, coming off the bench. But we ran this play, and it was basically Jack, Braden, and myself. I was involved, but didn't really do too much. But Jack basically gave Braids a short ball, and, Brace carried 4 people over the line and then scored. And then what celebration was it? The Rock?
No, that's my song.
That's your song.
The pure celebration was just pure joy of getting over the line.
Hands in the air.
The elbows were out. Everything was just...
Yeah, and there was a few of those tries last year, actually, from yourself. But, I reckon, I'd like to see more celebrations.
I would.
When the time's right. But I think the
Can't be doing it
fans...
when you're 40 down.
Not when... Yeah, nah. But they do that in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But I think it would attract more fans if they saw that side,
Yeah.
What it is now, they want the game to be more exciting with the 6 again rule and more fast pace.
Yeah.
Why not celebrate a try? You know, you've worked hard to get the try.
Yeah.
Why not celebrate it?
And people that probably don't understand, like when we do our preview for every weekend, like we preview how a team plays and defends, and there's a lot of work that goes into it to score some of our tries, and that's why you mentioned, like, you put a lot of work into it. That's why, you know, we need to celebrate when we do those things right, because it
100%.
does take a lot of, you know, a lot of effort. We'll move into the next question I have for you two fellas, and that's around TV shows. Now, these two boys are always talking. Something's going on, always. They're always watching something, you know, this and that, TV shows on Netflix, Stan.
A few quotes thrown around.
A few quotes going around, you know, from movies. But what are you watching at the moment, Jackie? Or are you just playing COD?
Yeah, just been playing COD at the moment. But I haven't got anything at the moment. But I did really like the F1 documentary on Netflix. I thought that was unreal. It's probably up there, to be honest. I thought like The Last Dance was really good, and then that came around too. And they're both probably up there with my favourites.
What about you, Braden? What are you watching?
Yeah, I just finished Money Heist.
Yep.
That was one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. And it's in Spanish, so people watch it dubbed over with English. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it. I can't get over the translation, or like the lips and the words not matching up. So I'm watching it in Spanish with subtitles. So that was pretty cool. Money Heist was pretty up there. Last Dance up there.
Yep.
And I think just playing COD too.
Beautiful. Well, I'll rattle off some of the docos, I guess, that we've been kind of blessed with this year. Like The Last Dance, obviously, probably go down as the greatest documentary of all time. We've had Tiger King. We've had the Aaron Hernandez documentary, which I thought was amazing, and so sad at the same time. And then Don't F with Cats, which I'm sure both of you boys have seen, which is
that was
next
incredible.
That was next level, man.
Like, what's doing?
I don't know how you get to that point where you just want to do that. But then again, like, the just the general public getting on the back of it and trying to and actually
Facebook groups.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell?
There's some skill put there to find him.
Yeah.
Like, where do you fit that in your day, though? You go to work 9 to 5, and then I'm just going to go home and look for this dude because he did something to cats. But it's insane.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was absolutely incredible. But for me, you know, if you had to rate, obviously, we might all chuck the MJ doco as one. But out of those docos I just named, what would you chuck probably behind MJ as your favourite? Tiger King, Aaron Hernandez, or Don't F with Cats?
I'd go Last Dance, Don't F with Cats, Hernandez, and Tiger King.
Yeah.
I don't really like Tiger King, man.
I didn't finish it.
No, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I'd definitely say the same as you, Brades. And you boys touched on, I guess, COD and gaming, which is another big topic around the sheds at the moment. You know, there's a bit of a crew going on, the WhatsApp group and things like that. But, you know, tomorrow, for example, is our day off, and today we've just finished training. That's why we're able to record the podcast inside the bubble. We're at the ground at the moment. But, yeah, tomorrow, Jackie, day off for you. And probably play a bit of COD, but talk to me a bit about the group and I guess what your hobby is like as, you know, a bit of a side passion with gaming.
Yeah, I mean, it started off a few of us, didn't it? Like I was always playing with Braids, Vazzy, Jack Willie as well, and we just have a squad of 4, and then we started talking about it at training, and then next thing you know, we've got like Dukes, Ma, Big K. Oh man, there's just like Jackson,
12 Shawnee's on there too. Ronnie, his brother. Like
That's over half the team.
You think Ronnie layers up on the field? Did you hear him on the game? Holy Rick. Can't even hear yourself think.
And it gets savage in there too. Like,
so what games do you usually play?
If there's like a massive group, we just go like teams of 6 or something, even out the teams, and just play gunfights. Yeah. It's like 4-on-4 or...
So you'll get the same weapon.
Just go for it.
Yeah, and opposite sides of the map, and you just go for it, and then it's like elimination for that first round. So
yeah, right.
If you die, you're out for that round.
So and when you die, you hear it. You hear it.
Because obviously you guys are all live with headsets on and things like that, so you can talk to each other and obviously give the banter.
Oh.
The best part is you can hear your team the whole time, but there's a patch, like a 10-second patch in between rounds where you can hear the opposite team.
And that's when all hell breaks.
That's when it layers up.
Oh. If Ronnie's on the opposite team, out of the blue, you're gonna get picked on by him. Oh. And it's so funny, man. Like, it's good. It's a good time. I reckon it's a good escape from everything.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But it's a good way to keep in touch with everyone.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny too. Like where you go from being a training here around each other the whole day, and then it's like we get home, we just want to chuck it in the group chat and we just want to jump on and then talk to each other again. So
yeah, I love it. What you said, Braids. It's a way to sort of escape. You know, have a bit of fun with your spare time, a hobby. I mean, do you guys stream at all? Because you can stream games, can't you?
Can stream them, yeah, but
no.
Too much of a.
People would be interested in watching that, I reckon.
Well, that's
Andrew gets some.
We should do it.
We've been thinking about it, but sort of the platform that I don't know. Like we could do it, but
yeah. I mean, like because to me it's a no-brainer. You just rattled off about 12 players.
Yeah.
Sharks player, NRL players, streaming online gaming. Like to me, people would go on and subscribe and watch that, and
not even for the gameplay. Like we're not even that great.
Yeah, I mean just the banter and talking, but.
It'd have to be for mature audiences.
Oh, R18.
Yeah.
After dark type stuff.
Yeah. All right, boys. Next topic is and this is something we touched on, Jack, when I spoke to you individually on a previous podcast. Was books reading at the moment. I know, Braid, is something you've sort of started getting into over the last 12 months. But any books you're reading at the moment, Braids?
Yeah, I got quarter of the way through one now. It's just called How Emotions Are Made and the Lifestyle of the Brain, I think it is, and it's just touching on how emotions aren't worldwide.
Yep.
So you see, like, not all emotions are the same everywhere. There could be different faces or different words that can be described for angry or sad, and it's just breaking everything down, like, quite scientifically. And the first part of the book actually got me hooked. It was about the Sandy Hook massacre back in the States, and the lady that wrote the book was like the mayor sort of got choked up, and then it resonated with the whole country. So it was just saying, like, how do we perceive that emotion to allow it to come into our bodies and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. I've got another book on the way called Australia Day. So it's about Australian history and touching on a bit more about that. And I'm trying to get some New Zealand stuff, but there's no authors that write it. So
right. Learn a bit about the country you're now living in.
Yeah.
Obviously living away from home, away from New Zealand.
All this Black Lives Matter stuff, preaching it about American, when that stuff happens over here as well. So
Yep.
I think it's important to, if you're going to preach about it from somewhere else, you've got to learn what's actually going on here as well.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. What about you, Jackie? You reading anything at the moment?
Actually not reading anything at the moment,
Yep.
I'm on the search, so
yeah.
I will be finding something.
I think probably the last few years is reading, which I never read in high school. Like, all I wanted to do was play footy, and I'm sure I saw you too. Yeah, the exact same. Yeah. But as you get older, you get more mature, like Braids, and I'm sure this might have helped you with, as you read, like, it helps you calm down, obviously learning a bit about things, find more about yourself. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. This whole sort of, ever since I turned 25, things have just changed a bit, and become a lot more mature, I feel, personally. So reading, writing, it's definitely helped me a lot with my mental health, and touched on it in my little video that I have on my own.
Yeah, which was awesome, bro.
Instagram,
a quick shout out to that, like, to put yourself out there and I guess explain, the feelings you've been feeling, and talking about it, because, like, it ain't weak to speak. And to me, if people who are listening might not know, Braden shared quite a long video about how he's feeling, and some of the challenges he's been facing of late, and shared it with everyone on social media for everyone to see. And to me, the thing that really I thought was amazing, and probably showed you how much us as teammates cared, was how many of the boys shared that message.
Honestly,
that feel good?
It was really, really scary to even post it. I deleted it and chucked it into throw it up, 5-6 times, and I was like, oh, you know what, just do it. Like, hopefully you don't know what's going to happen. So chucked it up, and the feedback was overwhelming. And seeing all the boys share it was just like, that's insane. Like, that just shows us as teammates. We're genuinely friends, and we genuinely care about each other. So
100%, brother. I love that stuff. Keep it going. All right, Jackie. Next one was mate, cooking. From what I'm hearing, your partner's heading away soon for a little bit, and you're going to be at home. And Braids, we'll touch on this. Braids lives by himself.
He's quite.
But you're lucky enough to live with your long-term partner, Meg, who, from what you've told me, is a great cook and helps you with your meal prep.
Yes.
But what's your go-to meal if you're cooking at home?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to wrap my head around cooking for a month or so. So
you've already got that planned already, bro. It's all in the fridge already.
Has Meg prepared it? She's already prepared. It's in the freezer.
I think I've still got like about 4 weeks or so. So I live by myself, or not by myself, but pretty much cook for myself for 12 months. It was pretty bland cooking, just chicken, steak, and everything. But
Just for the gains, eh?
Yeah, just for the gains. But I know how to cook up an alright like pesto pasta.
Yeah.
Cook up steak, a few salads and everything. But I might explore a bit.
Yeah.
I might test the internet and see what I can find up. And
how about you, Brades? I just said that you live at home by yourself in Carangar, but how do you go with cooking? I've seen a few photos on the story. It's not too bad.
I go all right here and there. But yeah, HelloFresh, man, it just makes it so much easier, bro. Just a piece of paper tells me what to do. All the ingredients are there. I'm just throwing it up.
Follow the recipe.
But someone actually stole mine this week, so I've got to go find some other food to get. So yeah, that doesn't help.
So what are you going to cook for dinner tonight?
Yeah, look, obviously that's tough. Might have to.
Yeah, what do you do without the HelloFresh?
What do I do without it?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Baked beans.
Just make it
just
up.
a couple of scrambled eggs here and there.
Hey, I was talking to Ronnie the other day. He said to me he has about 12 eggs a day, like breakfast eggs for breakfast.
You wouldn't tell.
Yeah, I know. He's skinny as.
Praying mantis.
He has egg. If he has steak for dinner, yep, I'm having eggs with it as well. 2 eggs on top of steak.
That's crazy. You won't go through the whole.
He's trying to put on size. He's probably got 5.
I think he cooks all right. I think he cooks for Jensen Lorenzo at their place. So he talks himself up anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, I know both of you boys eat quite healthy, but we're going to touch on cheat meals, and probably for us as athletes, like throughout the week, we eat quite healthy. Obviously, you've got to get prepared for a game, but then once you play the game, then after the game, like that's my time to have a cheat meal and pick out. And my go-to meal is always probably McDonald's, and I always go large Big Mac meal with 6 nuggets.
Holy, puts it away, the big fella.
And the thing that I really enjoy after a game is ice cream.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat ice cream throughout the week because I'm preparing for the game and I want to be as fit as healthy as I can and all that stuff. But the cookies and cream ice cream is for me like that's my.
What brand are we talking?
Connoisseur.
Stop it! You gotta stop it.
But yeah, after a game like and a good win, confidence is all time high. You've played really well. What are you going to after?
I'm pretty similar. I like McDonald's as well, but lately I've been really liking a pizza that my partner makes. But like I've been having it during the week because it's actually quite healthy. Like,
yep.
It's pretty good. And but last week got a win. I actually just had a burger. Like it was actually a Portuguese burger. Couple of chicken tenders on the side. So it was good.
Chips?
Just relaxed. I actually didn't have any chips. No.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty bland cheap for me, to be honest.
He's too strict, isn't he? What about you, Brades?
Bro, so after we got back to Sydney after Townsville game.
So what time did you land?
What did we land? 2?
Yeah, about 2.
Around 2.
Yeah.
2 a.m.
And like, it's the only thing open. So
Yeah,
stopped off
it is.
Stopped off at Macca's and got the usual double quarter pounder combo, large, with a chocolate thick shake and 6 nuggets and just went to town.
Yeah.
And just hammered it.
I love that.
Chips in the thick shake.
Oh.
Yeah. Thick shake, man.
If I don't get a thick shake though, and I'm telling this to everyone, the McFlurry combo that I've put everyone onto.
Yeah, right. What is it?
Double Oreo with caramel sauce.
Ooh.
Everyone's like, nah, caramel too sweet. I'm like, no, trust me. And they haven't looked back.
Yeah.
So that's for everyone listening. You're welcome.
They don't overdo the caramel, eh? They don't overdo it.
No, it's good.
They're tight, so I can see that double Oreo.
Trust me.
All right. Well, there you go, listeners. Get that into you. All right, boys. We'll wrap it up there. Quick, probably 20-odd minutes, but like I said, we just finished training not that long ago. We're inside the bubble. Obviously, not allowed to have people around at our houses at the moment because we're under strict protocols, as we sort of spoke about. But boys, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. We'll have to do it again one time, eh?
100%.
Yeah, thanks, Chatty.
Thanks, Chatty.
All right, guys, thanks very much for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you subscribe. You can check it out on Spotify, iTunes, and watch it on YouTube. We'll catch you next time.